more specific about types of agriculture, right? Whether it's raising beef cattle, whether it's greenhouse type raising, whether it's crops for export only, whether it's little family plots that are for making people self-sustained. These sorts of statistics. But also for harmony, we talked a little bit about there's some preserved lands, right? So maybe we have some statistics about those protected areas.
Here about the data, just like a comment.
Uh-huh.
The data you were asking about the concentration levels in the water are reserved, are not public.
Yeah.
They're sending me the paragraph in the, I think in the law that is makes the restriction.
Okay.
En los datos de concentración de metales en el agua están reservados, no los puedes ni pedir, y si por algo los tuvieras no los puedes exhibir en público.
So we're going on to jail?
Sí,
No, because we don't know the information yet. But
It's in YouTube.
no, we don't have. But we don't have the information. So, but what we might do is take a note about this and make this into part of the policy recommendations. Not necessarily that it becomes public, but that we get more information in order to construct a compass. That's all. And then we don't have to be specific to the public about exactly what concentrations of what are out there. But since we know that this will affect the environment and it will affect society, we know that different concentrations and different mixes of concentration do affect society, do affect the health of the populations, and do affect the environment. At least we would like to know. And so we can make a request for that. If they don't grant it to us, then we work in the dark and we can be pessimistic or optimistic or both and just decide on margins of error, etc., as we normally would. So we get around the problem. But yes, it's a bit annoying that we can't find out the data, because what we're trying to do with the compass is to get a picture of what is really going on. And if we don't have the data, it's very hard to know what's really going on. We can guess, but this is when you make worse policy decisions because they're based on guesses about what you think might be the case. So that's why it's a shame. If you have an accurate picture, then you can make good policy decisions. And why do you want to make good policy decisions? It's so that you have longevity in the policy. The policy will last for a long time because people have thought about it, they've agreed upon it, they understand what's going on, and they're committed to it. So those are the reasons. And if you're a politician, you want your name to go down in the history books as having made really good decisions, not really bad ones. And so making good decisions is all about having an accurate picture and then knowing what to do with it. And that's what the compass does, is it gives you an accurate picture, which is what any multi-criteria decision aid does, is it gives you an accurate picture. So it's multi-criteria, it's not just one or two.
Well, not in this country.
But in the compass, what you also get is a sense of direction. Where do you want to go? So you know what to do with the data. That's the difference. It's one thing for me to say, look, there's this much mercury in the river, and there's this much bovine production, and there's this much money coming from the car industry, and there's this much investment in the roads, and there's this many people dying of cancer. And then you say, well, how do I put all of that information together? How do I decide what to do with all that information? Because it's too disparate. It means different things to different people. But with the compass, because we're discussing together, we're discussing in length, because we're comparing, and because we're discussing together the angle, which tells us, Is this more towards discipline? Is it more towards harmony? We're getting a sense of what is the qualitative reality. Yeah.
And I think related with the problem of data, for instance, right now, that this data could be compromised or even changed. But maybe one can alleviate the problem by having dialectic between the different stakeholder groups. I mean, the more you have like this participatory process, you have like this exchange to agree the length or I don't know.
That's right. That's right. So in some ways, we don't even need to know exactly what the mercury level is. What we need to know is whether that arrow of the mercury, whatever it is, the people who are experts in this and who know it, to help them to tell us, just tell us what the length is and what the angle is. So then, and we can find a lot of things out indirectly, but it takes time. It's a lot harder. So we can.
Okay, the community that they already know they're
Es en aluminio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So some things we can find out anyway. But if it's illegal to know it, then we gotta be careful.
Bromo, cadmium.
Okay, is there another statistic on excitement? Do we have another one? Or another statistic
Maybe
in
in
harmony?
I don't know what you think about it. In the whole state, there are 26 protected natural areas. In the basin area region, there are 10.
Okay, good, okay. So let's add that. There are 26. So we'll have to. 26 protected areas in Jalisco.
Yeah.
And how many in the basin area? Okay. This doesn't, by itself, it doesn't tell me very much because I don't know what size they are. So a protected area that's very small versus a protected area that's very large. Yeah, we need to know more, something else. This is not an interesting statistic. So, has anyone found another statistic? In excitement or in harmony? Now, if there are none, right, then that's okay. The compass can deal with that as well. The triangle becomes a straight line.
It's 12% of the territory
Okay,
is protected in Jalisco.
12% of the territory.
So,
Protected and in the river basin area?
yeah, so if there's 26, if that represents 26 area, 10, what percentage would be?
No, because the sizes might be different, right? I don't know what the size is of the.
It's 874,000 acres. Yeah, I will have to search for the base.
I think that if we could don't
¿Quién
find
cree
any
que vaya a
more
ser la primera
statistics,
persona que
then we
venga a
just
reclamar
stop.
la constancia sin haber venido?
Ahí sí.
¿Sí? La que no tengo en la lista, la clamándome el domingo en la noche.
No se con- no está
Yeah, the
conectado.
thing
No,
is
no se
that
conectó.
I have more compared to the old.
Oh, Mexico. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did something a bit different.
Yeah.
Luis has to leave the session
Yeah,
because he have a class.
okay, okay. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your participation. And I hope that you've learned a little bit about how the analysis works. And all of that information is very valuable, and we would put all of it into the compass, you know, and it's very good statistics that he's finding. So I suggest that we stop here anyway, because I don't think that we're, I think
It's
everyone
1:30.
Hmm?
It's 1:30.
Yes, okay, yeah, I think we're going to stop here.
Okay. He
Okay,
says that take care of your coast.
thank you. I will try. That's one reason why I want to stop now.